And tour tomorrow morning.
We will indeed. So remember, all the lights, everything that you see are powered by the energy of the sun. But girls, I'll tell you what, when we say the struggle is real, women's wellness at any stage of life, when you're your 20s, your 30s, your 40s, your 50s, you're beyond, I have to say this is a product that all of us as women, thank you for, Andrew. The reviews read like love letters. It's so great to see this as a Today's Special.
It's been almost a decade since it's been a Today's Special. It remains one of our top reordered products. We've done it as a monthly special early last year, but it hasn't been a Today's Special for almost a decade. But it's a product that, if that time of life, it's funny that when I called in earlier today and I was speaking to Colleen, that she remembered back when I first came to the network over 20 years ago, we couldn't mention the word menopause or perimenopause because at that time they were still considered diseases, which it's hard to imagine how unenlightened we were to think that a normal transition in life, it would be like considering wrinkles a disease. Well, some people might actually consider wrinkles a disease. But seriously, it's today, obviously, we can talk about menopause and perimenopause as the natural transition that it is. For some reason, for some women, it could be reasonably easy. For other women, it could be incredibly difficult and challenging. And the different symptoms, the hot flashes, the night sweats, the interruptions of sleep. What this product simply is designed to do is take a page out of sort of the Japanese lifestyle and cookbook and deliver the ingredients that deliver sort of culturally and traditionally to that part of the world an absence of the problems that are associated with perimenopause and menopause. And the product is just incredibly well reviewed, almost perfectly reviewed.
It's true. I mean, over 1,300 reviews, a 4.4-star customer pick rating. And you know what? This is something that, yes, girls, do it for yourself, guys. If you're watching tonight, we also used to say kind of tongue-in-cheek, it's the product that women give thanks for and the product that the men in those women's life give thanks for, because it really does make a significant difference. Today's special pricing, and remember, it has been a long time since we've seen this as a Today's Special. I've been buying it whether it's on special or not, so it's nice to have an added incentive tonight. So $60, $180, and $360. Remember, pricing goes here, and here's our pricing today, and there's our savings. But boy, any way you stack it, and I know we've been saying this throughout the night, all of our Today's Specials are in 6-pay flex pay, so that makes it unbelievable. Then, of course, unconditional money-back guarantee until the end of January. But when you can get savings like this and deliver such a profound difference in such a natural way, I know it's something you're going to give thanks for, whether you suffer from the night sweats. That's something that I know I personally have dealt with. The big thing for me, Andrew, is I want to be able to support that transition in life in a natural way. And I realize there's a lot of things that people do, but I want to, you know, God's gift. I want nature to help me.
And most of us, I think that oftentimes we think the only answer comes from a pharmaceutical,
right?
Which is not the case. There are lots of answers that come from natural changes to our, not just supplementation, but to our diet or to our lifestyle. And again, even if you're using bioidentical hormones, which I wouldn't recommend the synthetic hormones, the pharmaceuticals, that's something that you discuss with an informed and enlightened, hopefully, endocrinologist or physician who could help you make those decisions. But these ingredients have stood the test of time. In fact, the natural isoflavones in this product, not only is there an abundance of research in terms of their reducing or eliminating hot flashes, night sweats, and interruptions of sleep, but also in terms of age-related changes to our brain and memory function, also in terms of heart health, also in terms of body composition and body fat. So it's something that delivers, again, we don't worry about side effects here. We get to embrace all sorts of other side benefits. But the most important thing, the reviews of this product are entirely consistent with the science that gave rise to it. Also, beyond the ingredients that deal with menopause and perimenopause symptoms, we also put the equivalent of a half a capsule of cranberry. We also put the ingredients for my breast health product in here, including indole 5-carbinol. That is an ingredient that helps to support healthy estrogen metabolism metabolism in breast tissue. So it really is the ultimate women's wellness product. That's what it's designed to be. That's what it's intended to be, to support healthy hormone levels and to support us at a time of life when I think we lose a little bit of our balance. Things are changing. And men, we get it a little bit easier. We get to be blissfully ignorant. The changes we experience tend to be less significant. But women, their systems are more complex. Women, of course, give birth to us. And those more complex systems create issues or potential problems later in life. And that's what this product is designed to naturally help us support. As I said, again, taking a page out of that cookbook, that Japanese and Asian lifestyle cookbook.
Absolutely. And Rick, it's a little hard for me. What is the flex pay on the 360? Because that 6 flex pay is like crazy. It's like $7 and change or something like that.
If it's,
I mean,
well, if it's 6 flex, it's going to be about $13 and change.
$13 and change.
And
you should have done my taxes.
And again, with 360 capsules, most women take 2 capsules a day. You can take 1 capsule a day. I recommend 2 capsules a day. So this is at least, 1 bottle is at least a 6-month supply, potentially a year supply.
Absolutely. You know, I'm really excited that we're doing the prostate support, though, because for a lot of reasons, you know.
Well, we could have done that here at the same table. But yeah, we'll do this quickly. Well, we're getting more steps. That's why we're doing this.
You took the words out of my mouth. But this is so special for me for a lot of reasons. You know, my dad has struggled